Something so grand, so wasteful of money for why Netflix is going downhill and investing money into shows that are completely trash so they can keep this one series alive. Stranger Things Season 4 has several episodes that are over 90 minutes long. And when you made that was the wrong title. It should have said Stranger Things Season 4 has spent $30 million per episode for episodes that are longer. I mean, that have a runtime of 90 minutes or longer.
But wait. So, Perry, I gained from this. Are you not a Stranger Things fan?
I am a Stranger Things fan. It's just, it shouldn't be the only series that Netflix wants to bank on when they have so many other series that are phenomenal that they canceled.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Netflix does have a problem there because, like, the thing is, like, I don't think that Netflix for some reason understands the fact that you have to give a series time to mature. You know, like, there are so many series out there that were okay, maybe good in the first season. Like, could you imagine, like, granted, I know everybody was not in love with the way that Game of Thrones ended. But could you imagine what would have happened if Game of Thrones would have been canceled after season 1? You know, we would have just missed that if Breaking Bad was canceled after the first season. You know, like, it's crazy that Netflix will be like, all right, well, this show had solid numbers,
phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, I mean, by then we got to understand that executives, all they see is numbers, like, whatever. But to be like, all right, this show had solid numbers and there's a rather large fan following for it, but because it's not Squid Games doing astronomical numbers, we're going to cancel it.
But that's Netflix's fault.
Yeah, that's an issue. Like, so I can't necessarily say I'm mad at Netflix for, like, dumping so much funds into Stranger Things, because clearly, like, Stranger Things is a great show and it does amazing things. But I do have to condemn them for the fact that not everything is getting the same treatment. Like, we've got to give these shows room to breathe and room to develop. Like, there are so many shows out there that don't even really get into their stride until they get into, like, their third season, and they're just kind of filling out what they are and coming into themselves in those first 2 seasons. So I don't know, man.
I agree. So one series that I'm glad they didn't cancel, Ozark. I was one of the first people that was telling people you need to watch Ozark. And how they allowed Ozark to finish the way it did, be it if you want to be upset or not, it ended how it should. Each character ended how they wanted to go out.
Absolutely.
With that, they need to, one, Netflix needs to learn to release their episodes week by week. A great example, Netflix, that you've seen happen that was phenomenal, that had talking for weeks, mind you, was when you released the League of Legends series. You did 3 episodes at a time. Everyone was talking about that show until the end of the last 3 episodes. Everyone was talking about that show. Everyone kept bringing it up because you know why? They were forced to come back and watch it. They were forced to continue talking about it until the end of the season. Some of your high-level, prolific shows need to be released at a weekly time because it forces out conversation. It forces out theories like it does on Disney Plus or on HBO Max with their shows to be continually talked about and shows the numbers to keep coming back. You build upon that. You build on anticipation. You build on suspense. You can't do that when I can binge watch it in a weekend and be like, you're a weekend conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, and like the perfect way to explain that is like, I remember we were talking about this, and this wasn't necessarily Netflix, but when the Snyder Cut came out a few years back, and I think that was running at the same time that WandaVision was running. The Snyder Cut came out. It was like a 4 or 5 hour movie that was divided into like 6 or 7 parts throughout the movie. They released it at one time. People watched it. They freaked out for a weekend. Maybe they freaked out for an entire week. And then they stopped talking about it. But on the other end, WandaVision was releasing on the weekly basis. And because it was on the weekly basis, it forced people to wait. It built anticipation. And it allowed them to take a show that more or less had the same runtime as the Snyder Cut Justice League movie, and stretched it out to where we had to talk about it for an entire month and a half, 2 months. And I mean, like, I don't understand why Netflix doesn't get that from a marketing aspect. It works. Like, I get why. I mean, I get in some ways why it can be a little sketchy. Maybe if it's a show that you're not really sure on, and you maybe watch the first season or the first episode and you don't love it, you're not gonna binge it. But on the flip side, if you watch it and you love it and you want to tune in for next week, now you've got a commitment. Now you've got to hold on to that subscription. So maybe like drop the first season, the entire show, but if it does well, second season, drop that bad boy on the weekly basis. Make us wait for it. Make us want it, right? Like, am I wrong here?
No, you're not. That's how you tie people in. So there's a bunch of series that Netflix could have did that on. They could have kept the Get Down is probably one of the biggest shows that I should have been like, bro, this was good. This could have had a second season. You could build upon that. Another one, Netflix. If you want to spend money on good shows, you want to pay for these people. Lovecraft Country. Get that show on
Yeah.
Netflix. Get Jonathan motherfucking Majors. Yes, I had to say it because that's the only way you can say his name. Get him on Netflix. That
He's
man,
a bad man.
he is a bad man, and he's producing content.
He is a bad man.
That is the next big A-list. He is A-list. I don't care what anyone says. That is an A-list actor who's doing numbers. Again, Ozark should have been something that released weekly. That would have been phenomenally done. You did it with the League of Legends show. Good. Do some with some of your anime shows that you're investing into. Get more studios under your belt. Netflix, you have an opportunity because you're falling and you're falling fast. Build yourself up.
There's too much competition out there right now, and when you can subscribe for a month to watch everything that you want in a week and then slide out, it's justifiable to come in, drop that $10 or maybe $15 if you want to watch that stuff in 4K, get it done, cancel your subscription, and then pop back over to Disney Plus, where you have to stay there to watch every episode of what's that next show coming out, the Star Wars gig. But I'm drawing a blank right now. But he's the Obi-Wan. There we go. So yeah, like, if you have to stay around and you have to keep that subscription for 6 weeks, 8 weeks to get that, then you're going to stay around for it. Um, but all in all, I mean, it's not my money, so whatever.
Yeah, I just want to say Netflix. I like y'all marketing strategy. I'm gonna not agree with these two because I like just coming in and binge watching what I want. I hate being left on cliffhangers. I hate anticipation. Like, I want to see what happens next and what happens next. Like, what happens next? Like, I can't go to bed like, oh my god, that was so awesome, and be happy. Like, I'm not that. Like, no, what happens next episode, and then when I'm done. I understand it. Marketing wise, yes, like y'all should drop the episode like daily, and they do that. I don't know if y'all ever seen the ultimatum. So Netflix was
Yeah,
dropping
but that's
shows
like with
like
their
every
reality
Thursday.
shows, though.
Yeah, but movie wise, I like that. I just started watching Ozark, even the Stranger Things series. Like,
Yeah.
something happened to 11, she got kidnapped, and then they ended what the little boy is staring over the hill like, we gotta go in there, and like, for me, next episode. I ain't finna pause it right there. Like, no, what happened to
You're
her? Like, where's
greedy.
she
You
at?
hate anticipation.
Yes,
You're
yes.
greedy. Just say you're greedy. That's what it is. And people like
cannot.
that, people like Angel, forces people to come back. That is a perfect example. Bring them back.
Everybody would be watching. Everybody be talking about the Mandalorian. Then I wait till all the episodes come out, and then I go in there. Then I'll be like, guys, did y'all see that? I'm not finna Mandalorian and keep up with the episode. No, put all the episodes there so I can watch it.
Yeah.
I do that with
But-
any series.
But this is the thing, though. You like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I know plenty of people that do that, but the people that handle these series the way that you are honestly the minority. The reality is, just like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock and everybody ran to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, it's the same thing with these TV shows. Everyone wants to be a part of the conversation. Everyone wants to be the first one out there with a hot take. So when you control those waves and you have everyone racing to be the first and everyone wanting to be a part of the conversation, it makes it seem and feel a lot longer. And for the people that are not subscribed, maybe Nick isn't subscribed to Paramount Plus, and maybe the Halo show was a hit. I know it's like a lukewarm reception, but alternate universe, let's say it's a 10 out of 10 series, and that drops every week. If Nick is getting on, every week he's seeing people freak out about what's going on in the Halo series, he's eventually going to go ahead and say, you know what, maybe I need to check this out. And then he's going to hop in, he's going to check it out, because that's what happened with me with Game of Thrones. After like 4 seasons, and I'm like, why is everyone freaking out about this show? I hopped on, and then guess what? I was part of the reason that other people were like, why is everyone else freaking out about this show? So there's advantages on both ends, but I think on a marketing aspect, I think that there is definitely a benefit in holding that conversation, because at that point you get a large benefit of word of mouth advertisement over longer periods of time. But I know we've kind of like got into like Netflix's marketing strategies and like the episodic versus like binge watching model, but like all in all, like I do want to shed some light on Stranger Things itself. Like, are you guys excited? It's like what, 2 weeks away, I think, at this point.
Yes.
Of course,
Like,
I'm excited. I just want more shows, and then you put. So what is it, like 9 to 12 episodes on here?
So yes and no. So the thing is, what is super exciting about this is, just like with the Ozark, they're splitting it up into 2 parts. Each part is like 9 episodes, I want to say, and it's more or less the same on both ends, where on part 1 and 2 we will have episodes that are just as long or sometimes longer than movies. Like, I think they said that the season, or I don't know if it's the season finale or part 1 finale, but they said that one of them is like 2.5 hours long, which is exciting, but at the same time I'm also like, oh my god, because I sit down and me and my wife, we watch this movie with the big kids, or the show rather. I am super terrified that I am never going to get this show finished, but we'll see.
So it's you have a total of 9 episodes. 9 episodes times 30 million.
Like 270 million.
270 million. This better be the best 270 million show Netflix has produced, or I'm rioting. I will riot.
Look, man, like I said, it ain't my money, it's just my entertainment. Like, when I spend $270 million versus putting other eggs in other baskets, absolutely not. Because when you break it down over 2 seasons, that's over $500 million that they're investing into this one show.
I'm just saying,
But
you remember that how Netflix had their own gaming development studios and stuff going on? Yeah, me neither. But Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers Netflix trying to get to the game.